It's 1995. ORU has taken their extended Christmas break. It's time to get cooking for the 95 portion of the season. And with that, it was Northern Arizona here at the Mabee Center. And a great ball game that was from your perspective.
Oh, it was. It was a great game for us. Of course, everything looks good when the ball goes in the hole. We'll see a little bit later when the ball doesn't go in the hole just how bad it can get. But good shooting covers up a lot of deficiencies, and what we did against Northern Arizona, we flat out shot the ball well. We're 15 to 26 from the three-point line,
range, right?
And shot about 57-58% for the game, and our guys had a lot of fun. I think there's several reasons for that. I think one, we've worked on shooting very hard, but another reason is it showed our guys it's so much easier to play when you're ahead than behind. When you're ahead, that basket gets a little bit bigger because you're relaxed, and when you're behind and you start pressing, it tightens up a little bit. It's like shooting on those baskets at the state fair where the ball barely go in, and that's what happened against Oklahoma State, as opposed to Northern Arizona, where we get the early lead and we just play lights out. So. And Northern Arizona's not a bad team. Last night I noticed that they beat Montana, and Montana's they're like 12-2 right now.
And so they were within 3 of Cal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they played California 3 points, and everybody knows what kind of athletes California has. So it was a good win for us. Clifford shot the ball extremely well.
I was just going to say, it seemed like Clifford came out of his shell, so to speak.
Well, Clifford's 4 of 6 from the three-point line, and Tim's 5 of 8, and Jerome shoots the ball well. Jason Pittman and Raymond Roberts both shot the ball well. So you got 5 three-point shooters in the game, and they all connected on at least 50% of their shots. You know, you're going to have a good chance to win.
Now, this was, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the first time that you really went with that extremely small lineup in a starting role. Explain your philosophy on that.
Well, I thought all along the strength of our team was our perimeter game and the ability to shoot the ball, although we haven't really shot it consistently like I thought we could. I really felt like we had an inside threat in Ty Fields. Ty has not yet performed to the level we think he can perform at, and when we play 2 big guys in there together, we find out that we don't get as many good perimeter looks because people aren't having to dive down on the low post because our low post people really aren't scoring. So we've tried to spread the floor a lot and get more perimeter screening going on, and you put 4 perimeter players out there that can shoot the ball. Now that opens up things more inside for one player, and all we need to do is really get one post player playing well at a time instead of getting 2. And so that's something that we've done, and I think Jerome Average is a big reason for that because he is shown us consistently that he can score, and that's what this team needs. We've defended well this year out. We defended the first shot well. We haven't rebounded great, but our field goal percentage defense is super. But the problem is we just haven't shot the ball that well.
Now, have you decided on a starting 5 for the rest of the season? Do you think your opponent will dictate who you will start? Will it be that kind of a situation?
I don't think it'll be an opponent that dictates. I think what will dictate will be
who's
performance
practicing better
and who's practicing best and hardest, and like right now Raymond Roberts is probably playing as well as anybody on our team. He and Clifford are probably playing better than anybody, and Raymond's not starting. Well, it may be a situation Raymond deserves to have a chance to get in there and start, so I kind of like him coming off the bench because he gives us offense coming off the bench. But I don't think it'll be determined by opponents. I think I'm just going to go with the guys that are playing best at that particular time and put them out there, and whoever plays the hardest and can rebound and cover, they're going to get the first chance. And if they can shoot the ball, that's a blessing on top of that.
Now, Wednesday evening, Oklahoma State came to town. This was the 4th game of the year that Eddie Sutton would bring his Cowboys to the Mabee Center, but this was against ORU, the home team ORU. In the past 3 games, OSU had been the designated home team in the Bank 4 Classic, and again when they took on LSU. But here they come to town. You're the home team. Nice crowd on hand. I know you were excited before the game.
Well, we were all excited. I thought we would play very, very well. Our entire staff thought we'd play well. Our players' confidence was at a season high. Their attitudes was the best it's been all year. We have worked harder than we worked all year long. Everybody was focused, and we were becoming very, very coachable, which is something that I've been concerned with. Not that we were not trying to be coached, but our listening skills aren't real good. And we were becoming better listeners and trying to execute things we need to execute, as evident against Northern Arizona. So we felt good coming in. We thought if we could shoot the ball well, not turn it over, and contain Randy Rutherford and Bryant Reeves, anything could happen. Well, we ended up doing 2 of the 3 pretty decent.
I was going to say, you know, if someone came up to me and said, hey, we held Bryant Reeves to 12 and Randy Rutherford to 5, you guys would not only be in it, but win the game.
Oh, well, that's kind of what we thought. Our goal before the game was to hold their team to around 70, and we said that Brian and Randy could not get over 35. That's the bare maximum they could get was 35. Well, we hold them to 17 points, and when you hold two potential NBA players to 17 points, you think, well, we'll make the other guys beat us, which Terry Collins played very well for them, and so did Scott Pierce. But the bottom line is we wanted to shoot a lot of threes. We wanted to shoot a ton of them, and you can see Raymond driving in there right there, and the ball just won't go down. And then Jerome, that's our first field goal of the game. We had missed, I think, our first 11 or 12.
First 12, right.
And Jerome gets that one to go in. Here, Jerome's going to make a three from the corner, I believe, if we set this up right. Yes. And, you know, out of bounds play, great execution. But we just did not shoot the ball a lick. Jerome Avage, who's our best shooter, we tell him he has a green light to shoot the three. Whenever he has any daylight at all, he gets 4 open threes in the first 3 minutes of the game, and none of them go down. And that's our offense. That's what we want to do. That'd be like telling Randy Rutherford not to shoot the three, you know, and because Jerome can flat out shoot it like Randy can. And it's discouraging because Oklahoma State had a lot to do with it because they defended us well, but still we got good shots and the ball just didn't go in.
How difficult is it to convince players to keep shooting when the shooting percentages are way down? I mean, the players know that they're not shooting well. Is it a situation where you have to convince these guys to take open shots when they get open? When you know you're not shooting well?
I don't think it's that you have to convince them. I think you have to convince them that it's okay to miss shots. One thing that we have to become more of is have more of a shooter's mentality. Jerome's 3 for 15 this game, and he's the only guy that's catching it and not hesitating when he shoots the ball. Some other players, they miss a couple in a row, and they start thinking about it, and they say, well, I don't know if I should shoot this or pull the trigger. I think it's more of a confidence thing than anybody, and more than anything, and we have to get to the point where we have shooter's mentality. If you miss 5 in a row, it doesn't make any difference because 6th one's going in. You just know it's going in. And the other night, we needed something good to happen early. We defended them great. We rebounded great.
I thought you were getting some great shots.
And we got great shots, and they just didn't go in. And then what happens is when you get down big, you try to catch up too fast. You start pressing, and before you know it, you totally abandon your game plan, and then it gets to be a rout.
As you said after the ball game, we couldn't have put it in the ocean.
No,
I think that pretty much describes what happened.
Not if we were standing on the beach that night. If we were in the water, we still couldn't have thrown it in the ocean. But you know, those things happen. It's disappointing to me because I want us to play well because that's my alma mater. But I want them to play well more so for them than for myself. And you know, those players were hurt afterwards, but that's okay because it should hurt. And that's part of athletics and competing and everything. And as long as we bounce back, that'll be fine. We had to play a perfect ball game to win. And we did a couple of things we had to do to have a chance to win. But the biggest thing we had to do was make shots. We didn't make shots. So therefore, it was a struggle.
All right, it was over. Now it's on to bigger and better things. You go on the road to Tennessee Martin and also back home next Monday. We will talk about what's in store for ORU basketball in the coming days ahead when we come back on Golden Eagle Basketball with head coach Bill Self.
For spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America.
Quantum Tour Edition USA, made in America, by the people, for the people.